Barbie is a poet, actor, writer, playwright, sometimes a fabulous host of shows and MC, and just a champion of the local art scene and many, many other talents. Also, do you consider yourself a costume maker or fashion designer? That's how I think of you, but I've never asked you.
You make me sound so cool. I want to know me. Who is the Barbie Angel? I I have been told that I'm like a fashion uh, icon in Asheville and a bit of a trendsetter.
Yeah.
Asheville street style. The
That's
first
right.
time that you wanted my photo for Asheville street style, I was like, oh my God, Alli Marshall, what my photo for Asheville street style? I talked like only dogs could hear me at that point. And I have been asked to help other people do designs and such. I don't sew very well, but have been trying to find someone to partner up with to, do some creations. The way that the style came about was, the owner of Loft, when I was at Robin Plemons' trunk show at Loft, the owner there, Katie, gave me this skirt because it wasn't a great showing. It was a bad night for it. I forget what else was going on, but it was a bad night for it. And so there weren't a ton of people there. And I was there to support Robin. And since it was like not a great night, I was just like doing whatever I could to make Robin laugh. And I pulled this big fluffy pink skirt off the wall and was playing around with it and making her laugh. And Katie just was like, you know what, it's got like this little paint bit on it. You can just have that. And so then it became a thing. And Sazerac was naming a cocktail after me. And so,
was it just called
so I promised everyone I would wear this big pink skirt and the Barbie Angel. Yep.
The Angel.
And then it just it became a thing.
So while you've been in quarantine, have you had the opportunity to wear any of your famous outfits, or are you in sweatpants like the rest of the world?
So since I have been dressing like this all the time with the skirts and everything every day, and that's been years now, like probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years now. I have gotten rid of all my other clothes. I own like 2 pairs of pants. So I don't really have anything else to wear except for my jammies. So my jammies are in the wash right now because I'm wearing, wearing the skirts and the socks. So they're in the wash right now. So that, cause I'm wearing this, but otherwise I've been pretty much wearing my jammies all the time. I've kind of been trying to embrace it and enjoy the break of not having to find an outfit to wear and all that. But also the reason I wear the outfits is because it makes people smile and it's, my friend David Lamont says it's one of my little gifts to the world. And so I kind of feel I'm missing that. I'm missing the interaction with the people and tourists stopping me to take my picture and things like that.
Besides creating yard art and painting everything that's not nailed down, are there other ways that you've been sharing creativity? Have you been, I know you've put one of your pieces online on your Patreon, right?
I put up my, I did a piece for Magnetic Laboratories, which was based on I think her name is Laura Nurenroth, something like that. I can't remember how to pronunciate that. But she did the If You Give a Mouse a Cookie books. And so this was, if you give Barbie Angel a cookie, she will have to wash her hands because it's, quarantine and all that. and it was not for kids because I swear a lot in it. And that was just something that popped into my head, um, because it actually happened. Like I went to go get a cookie, and I thought, well, before I do that, um, I'm going to have to wash my hands. But if I'm going to wash my hands, I also have this other stuff to do first, which will require me washing my hands. And then I should, like, use the bathroom, because then I'm going to have to. So I went and did the things, and then went to the bathroom, and then washed my hands and did all that before I got the cookie. Just because, I didn't want to waste soap, which is really ridiculous, but yeah, like the weirdness of that. And I've been working on my Grimm's fairy tale piece. We're doing Honor Moore came up with this idea of doing an all-female production staff of Grimm's fairy tales for Montford Park Players next year. And I'm one of the 4 writers, and we each have to do a piece. And I was like, I don't know that I'm gonna, like, I was worried about the deadline, even though it comes out next year. And yeah, so I haven't been writing it. I've been figuring it out, like, because part of it is because I there was a vague idea of, like, I needed to do one of the princess pieces, and there was a vague idea of the, like, Rapunzel and that, and how to incorporate her. And then all of this happened, and now there's, a plague, and, she's quarantined, and, like, it's just, so that's weird. And then I was working on, also on my Death by Sparkle.
We should mention that that's your
Piece.
autobiographical
Yes,
show that will eventually be staged at Magnetic Theater, correct?
yes,
Yay.
eventually, yes. Yeah, being directed by McLean, and Katie Jones is the one who workshopped it. And that was supposed to go up in September. I don't know, obviously, at this point, what's going to happen with that. But I have been reworking that as well. Um, and then, of course, it's Death by Sparkle, or What Happens When You Drink Window Cleaner. And now, do I change it because, there's certain factions of our government that are encouraging people to drink disinfectants? I don't think so. Sitting down and writing has not been a thing I've been able to do. I've been working more with my hands and visual stuff. And so I have the ideas, but, like, I don't know, I get too antsy to sit down and write.
Yeah. I
So that
understand.
kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a lot of us are finding that we're engaging with our art differently. Like the typical go-tos for each of us are a little different. Are you finding, is there art that you're consuming, like whether it's music or books or TV shows or movies, like is there anything that you're consuming right now that you feel like is essential or is really just kind of nurturing you?
Um, I have been consuming a lot of music, and consuming a lot of TV and movies. The little man and I are currently rewatching the Harry Potter movies. We just finished the Narnia ones. I've been um, I have been doing the digital concierge thing for David Lamont until I, lost my job because of the COVID-19. And so that was putting me into, his concerts. And then he's been doing this Sustaining Our Spirits interview series. Today, actually, right now, he's interviewing Chuck Brodsky. And that's been really cool because it's forced me into learning about other artists, whereas a lot of times, I'm just my brain's so overwhelmed and I'm so exhausted by it all that I'm just like, I just can't, like, I see people doing stuff on Facebook Live or Crowdcast or whatever, and I think, that would be fun to watch, but I don't have that energy to invest in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a
Um,
lot of sense. I mean, I just think that that's the time we're in, and hopefully we won't be in quarantine very much longer. It sounds like North Carolina is moving toward loosening some of the restrictions starting next week, which is scary and hopeful. But I think that it is a real learning curve for
yeah,
many of us, especially creative people who are used to having public platform. Like, what do we do now? What do we do with our energy? And
yeah,
so yeah, I applaud you for
yeah.
getting rest and just working through it and taking care of your home and your family. That's perfect.
I'm just all over the place. I'm some days I feel like I'm winning it all and I'm doing really well, and other days it's just devastating, and there's not an end in sight for me at the moment because I'm very high risk.
Mhm.
I have lifelong asthma, that has always been severe. Like, and I joke about it. I talk about, like, when I go to shows and it's like a 4 puff show, because if I
The big
laugh,
inhaler.
I
Yeah.
have to take my inhaler.
Yep.
Yeah. But I also, I'm real susceptible to getting anything that goes around. And then if a fever is included, my fever always gets really high.
Mm,
So it's like, so even when everybody else can go out, I have to wait for the second wave.
right.
Um, so yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I feel I wouldn't do it for me, but I feel like my boy needs his mom. So
Yes. Yeah. Very
I,
important.
yeah, so I'm going to be putting my public Facebook posts and, like, the videos and the longer things and stuff. I'm going to transfer those over to the Patreon page and have that up there publicly for people, because I know a lot of folks are not wanting to stay on social media right now, or if they are keeping their Facebook or whatever, they're trying to stay off of it because of all of the things I just said about all the craziness. So I'm wanting to give people another way. And then there is going to be some, like, subscriber only stuff. That's going to be, I'm going to do some of my Princess Clotilda sketches, and some stuff that I've been working on that people on there are going to get to see it first on that. But when we were doing David Lamont's, when we were doing, like, trying to figure out what he was going to do on his Patreon, I had suggested making all the levels the same.
Hmm.
Like, whether you're paying $1 or $100 a month, you get the same access, because as a person that's always struggled financially, I felt like if it were me, I would want them to be able, like, everybody to be able to get the same access no
Yeah.
matter what their economic situation was. And David really liked that idea.
Nice.
So he's done that, and I just launched my page, and it is the same way as well. I have 14 patrons, which is
Yay.
cool. I
Yeah.
feel so special. I'm like, oh my gosh, 14 people care about what I'm doing. But yeah, and yeah, so it's kind of an open sort of thing. Like, I've had my friend Alli Pettigrew, wants me to sing on there. And some folks have asked about, like, me doing some art that I put up for sale on
Mhm.
there. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I want to give people something for their support.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's fun to have another way to connect with people for me. um and I think that might even be why I'm doing so much outside, because then it's making people who pass by my house smile, because it's all bizarre. Like, all my yard art is just over the top.